Hey everybody, it's me Marquita. Let me get this back up because what I just heard, word, like I said, and that's why he is one of our greats. The way he said this in 1967, my bad, sorry. The way he said in 1967, everything only because this could easily be AI. Not that I don't believe that he said it. What I'm saying is, what he's saying speaks to 25. Speaks to 2025. And he said this in 1967. 1967. I do believe he got killed in 69. Please forgive me, Martin, if I got that wrong. Y'all just, I'm telling you what he said. Here, let me, so that y'all can go. King Fit, 1990. Martin Luther King Jr. warns us about the climate of America decades ago. Let me just play a little bit for you. Let me just let you know. If this man ain't a time traveler, if this man was not a time traveler, everybody will understand why some people is like, I've been fighting, my family's been fighting, I've been fighting, and I'm tired. In 1967, my mama was 5. In 1967, Gary was 2. Let me say that again. In 1967, my mama, the one that had me, was 5. In 1967, Gary, the guy I've been with going on 18 years, was 2. And everything that Martin is saying, if this man ain't a time traveler, then why is he talking about 2025 back in 1967? Riddle me that, Joker. Riddle me that. Gare, tell him to come here right fast because he needs to hear this in real time. Because, what? Savannah?
I almost had a mid-heart attack.
Okay, why'd you almost have a mid-heart attack? Can you please throw away that bag? Thank you.
He's coming.
No, you're about to dump. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Because I checked the order of the place I got my stuff from, and it says, like, the thing said, like, I'll show you, because I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. Gary.
He's coming. He was trying to make his sandwich.
I know, but this is just like I said, if Martin was not a time traveler,
Martin Luther King?
he came to 2025, but he died, I do believe, in 69. So, like I said, when people say, we need to come together, we need to fight.
Look.
Yeah.
That's it. They might already have it here because it usually takes a month or more for it to get here, and it says that it's
like that's what I was saying. If not, they have to cancel the order. Cause like if it shows us a United States address, they might just cancel the order. Cause that's what President Xi said. He will not sell to the United States. But like I said, that's why everybody, the older generation, the generation that was raised around older generations, that actually march through in the March of Selma, where Martin Luther King and the Million Man March walked across the bridge in Selma and got attacked with water hoses, got attacked with dogs, got attacked with batons, with guards. I don't know if they got sprayed with mace, but I do know they got sprayed with the fire hose, and some of them got sprayed so hard it literally peeled skin. And we've been doing that. I'm saying we Americans that wanted equality. And I'm not saying any color, because I know there were like different races that all marched. All I'm saying, the people that marched, the people that got attacked, the ones that got thrown in jail for peacefully protesting, they were not breaking up nothing. They were peacefully protesting. And was legally attacked. And then when April the 5th happened, and I have seen a couple of people saying, yeah, black people are just lazy. They didn't want to march. We had carousels. We had music festival. That's nice. Wish I could have enjoyed it. But I know from the 3 different videos that I've seen of the 3 different women that got arrested for literally just standing arm to arm with their fellow women, got arrested. I think one girl got her nose broke. In the 3 videos that I've seen was all 3 black women. They wasn't causing no ruckus. Not everybody got arrested. There was police on bikes. There was police walking around. But like somebody said that, and I wish I remember who it was so I can give them credit. Okay, y'all had basically an outdoor festival, and y'all was yelling at the top of your lungs on a Saturday. Great job, but you didn't interrupt really any big businesses. The purpose of, and this is me recycling information. This is not from me. I am literally saying what that woman said. She's like, the purpose of the protest is to interrupt business. So that protest was not done during the week. It was done on the weekend when 90% of the government buildings are closed. I'm guessing that's why some of our congressmen and women got to go out there. And I'm not saying that they needed to cause a ruckus and cause problems. But like that woman said, next time can we have a bouncy castle and maybe a carousel thing so the kids will have something to do? Ma'am, first of all, why did you bring your kids to the protest? Why? Because you didn't know, or did you know, if it was going to turn left, right, upside down, and right back upright. You didn't know what was going to happen until you were there. Or did you know what was going to happen before you got there? I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm not saying that she didn't have the right to bring her kids. Gary is like taking a long time. I'll just play it for y'all. I'll send it to him and he can watch it on his own.
I'm going to be honest enough to tell you that I'm worried about America. Yeah, I'm worried about our nation because I'm going to be honest enough to tell you that I'm worried about America. Yeah, I'm worried about our nation because it's sick with racism still. Just think about the fact that we live in a nation which was founded on the principle that all men are created equal. And yet men are still arguing over whether the color of a man's skin determines the content of his character. And I believe that the Lord told me to say to the United States of America,
listen, everybody, he about to drop the knowledge of the gods, the milk of honey.
That is sick with militarism and is sick with excessive materialism.
Let me rewind that back for y'all. Because y'all didn't hear him. Y'all didn't hear what he said. Y'all didn't hear what Martin said.
And is sick with excessive materialism. Told me to say to the United States of America that is sick with militarism and is sick with excessive materialism. Have you ever thought about it?
Every day.
There are between 38 and 50 million people.
Now, hold on now. Y'all ain't ready for this next part. Because what he about to say is he's talking about 2025. He is about, like, already. Amen. Because y'all need to hear this. I don't even know if y'all can even hear it good.
Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah. I just want to show none of us is cooking. Gary Fix sliders. Coat sandwiches. Y'all just don't want me to hear Martin. Devil, I rebuke you. I'm listening to Martin. He's about to drop the word of God.
There are between 38 and 50 million people in the United States of America who are poverty-stricken. Making income less than the poverty level. And yet, this is the richest nation in the history of the world. Our national gross product this year will go beyond $800 billion.
What y'all just hear him say? He said We the richest country in the nation. But we got the most impoverished people that is living below poverty level. Like I said, this man, if he ain't a time traveler, like I said, he's talking about 2025 without even being in 2025. Let me just rewind it, because I cut him off right when he was getting started.
In the poverty level.
Hold
and
on.
yet, there are million people in the United States of America who are poverty-stricken. Making income less than the poverty level. And yet, this is the richest nation in the history of the world. Our national gross product this year will go beyond $800 billion. And yet, there are between 38 and 50 million people who are poverty-stricken. Now, something wrong. A lot of people are afraid to say it. But I don't mind saying it. You see, somebody said to me the other night, don't you think, Dr. King, you are going to have to start speaking more in terms of the administration's policy? Because since you started talking against the war in Vietnam, it's hurt the budget of your organization. And people who once respected you don't respect you anymore. And I had to look over and say, sir, I'm sorry, but you don't know me. I'm not a consensus leader. I don't determine what is right and wrong by looking at the budget of my organization. And I don't determine what is right and wrong by taking a Gallup poll of the majority opinion.
Did you make sure just mustard on mine, or did you put ketchup?
Put mustard on yours, Coleman.
Okay.
Our struggle must continue. And what we must see is that our nation's summers of riots are caused by our nation's winters of delay. I'm going to be honest enough to tell you that I'm worried about America.
Y'all heard what he said. Y'all heard what he said.
Why did somebody kill him?
He was speaking the truth. If you didn't know that he was dead, you would think that he just said this the other day. Because everything that he said is what's happening right now. He said this in 1967. He got killed in 1969. It might have been 68. Daddy was 2 when this came out. Granny was 5. All I'm saying is, what he said then applies to today. Everything that he said. We are the richest country. Terry, I am saying, I know that we're not. I'm saying what Americans think that we are the richest because the government is telling them that we are the richest. Everybody wants to be us. Everybody wants to come over here. Maybe in the past, that's why we are the melting pot. That's why we are a melting pot. The only true Americans is the indigenous people. Everybody else came over willingly or unwillingly. But we are a melting pot. This is our land. That we are great. We're grateful that we get to stay on it. But it's not our land that we own. We are guests on this land. And I'm only saying that because if I have any indigenous relatives, I don't know of them. That's like when people say African American. I'm not African American. I am black. And I only say that because if I'm saying I'm African American, and maybe this is the wrong way of thinking, but this is the way that I think. I want to at least say, yes, I'm African American. This is where my family tribe came from. I can't say that. The only thing that I can say is I'm a Tennessean. I don't know if my great-grandmama was born here. Not great-grandmama, my great-great-grandmother. I don't know if my great-great-grandmother was born here or if she was bought here. I know that my great-grandmama was born here. I know that my great-grandfather was born here. I know that my grandmother was born here on my mama's side. I know my mama was born here. I know that I was born here. My kids are born here. But to say I don't know where my great-grandmama's mama, where she came from. And I know nothing about my great-grandfather's side of the family. My mama was an only child. On her mama's side. Because we don't know anything about her daddy's side. But she was raised by her grandmama, which is my great-grandmama. My great-grandmama raised her kids. She was helped raising her grandkids, which my mama was the grandkid. And then she started raising the great-grandkids until she died. Because for the first 4 years of my sister's life, she was with our great-grandmother. So, I don't say that I'm African American, not because I don't want to be, and I don't want to be African American. I say that because if somebody goes, okay, you're African American, yes. Okay, from what tribe? Where does your lineage go back to? I don't know. I have no idea. I can go all the way back to my great-grandmama, but that's because she was born in Tennessee. She met and married her husband. They got married in Tennessee. They had kids in Tennessee. Grandkids, Tennessee. Great-grandkids, Tennessee. So, like me, like my great-grandmama, my grandmother, my mama, and me and my sister, we were all born in the same town. Hell, I think my grandmama, maybe, if she wasn't born at home, she might have been born in the same hospital or the little same clinic that my mama was born in. The clinic that my mama was born in, that's where she had my sister. That's where she had me. Yeah, I don't live up there. I live in Tennessee, but I don't live up there. So no, my kids was not born up there, but they were born in Tennessee. And like I said, he said this in 1967. But everything that he said in 1967, if you did not know that he was no longer here, you would either think that this is AI, or you would think, and I'm not saying you as in I'm just saying the random you, like the famous days, the random you. You would think that this is either AI and put together and he didn't say this and they're just making it fit today's time. Or you would think, okay, he's still alive. Or you would probably come to the realization to say, why does that fit 2025? Why does that fit 2025? When this was spoken, when this was said, when Gary was 2, when my mama was 5. If my mama didn't get killed, she might still be alive right now. Because she got killed in August of last year. So, it's like still in my generation. Like I said, my daddy, he is still alive. In 1967, I think my daddy might have been 6. That's all I'm saying. He might have been 6 or 7. I don't remember if he was born in 60 or 61. All I'm saying is, this is why we don't fight. Because when him and the Million Man March, when they walked across the bridge in Selma, they peacefully protest. And they got hurt. They got attacked. And if everybody would have marched on April the 5th, it would have been, and I'm using quotes, the summer of love. Or not the summer of love. What is it called? The summer of, I forgot what it's called. I don't remember what it's called. But anyways, they also was like during the George Floyd little protest. We, the peaceful protesters, and I didn't go out there because I got kids. I don't want, like, I'm not going to take my kids somewhere where I'm thinking that they're going to be harmed or hurt. So no, I did not protest physically. I protested with my mouth. I protested with my words. I shared everything. I was trying to do my little part in supporting. But no, I did not physically get out there and march. But that's because I have kids. If I get hurt, if Gary gets hurt, who's going to have my kids? But during the George Floyd protest, the peaceful protesters are not the ones that was putting out piles of bricks. It was shown of the police vans getting stacks and stacks of bricks out the back of the van. Why do you have bricks in the back of your van? It's 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night. You know the curfew was at 6 o'clock, so why are you putting out bricks after curfew?
What's curfew?
That means you're not allowed to be it's a certain time. Yeah, like the curfew was at 6, but they're putting out piles of bricks, bottles, like glass bottles. And then all it takes is for one person to kick it off. And then everybody gets attacked. The one thing besides Trump holding the Bible upside down, because anti, but the one thing that one of the videos that sticks out in my head is when these people were sitting on their porch, and the cops is like, get in the house. They're like, I'm sitting on my porch. All of a sudden, the person that was filming got hit in the face with a rubber bullet because they shot the camera out of that person's face. And I do believe that person had to get surgery on their eye, because when the rubber bullet hit the camera, it broke and put glass in their eye. And do you know what the police department said? You shouldn't been out past curfew. These people were standing on their private property, on their porch. On their porch. It wasn't like they were throwing bottles. They weren't rioting. They literally heard some chant outside. They went out on their porch. The cop told them, get in the house. They said, I'm standing on my porch, and next thing you know, the camera goes black because they shot a rubber bullet at that camera and broke the glass, and that person had to get surgery on their eye. Them people weren't causing a ruckus. There was like that older male that was just standing in front of the courthouse. And I really do hope that he make it, because I know back then it was touch and go. But when they told him, go, and he's just like, I'm asking a question, and they pushed that man down and busted his head. and literally tried to shoot anybody that ran up to try to help this man. This man was 80-something years old, I do believe. And like somebody was risking their life this was daytime. That man didn't go up to the cops. They came up to him. He was just standing there. He literally was not yelling. He was not being rude. And they pushed that man and pushed him. And what happened is the guy really didn't push him, but he was giving him chest. And then the old man was like backing up, like, what? Wait a minute. Like, why are you walking up on me? And then the old man, he ended up tripping, falling, and hitting his head. Yeah, that officer did not push him down. But you knew that was an elderly old man. And he was not combative. And then y'all try to shoot somebody. The man that ran up to hold the man's head because the man is bleeding. He's laying there. He's obviously an elderly person. We don't know if he's on blood thinners. Because if he's on blood thinners, he can bleed out and die. Because you want to push your authority around. Huh. But like I said, nobody might not have got a message, y'all of it, but I did.